Hey everyone, welcome back to Jrny FPL. My name is Dovey. For today, we're just going to go over how I did in Game Week 1, my team selection for Game Week 2, and I'm going to list some players you should have your eye on. Let's go. Okay, so for Game Week 1, I got 100 points, and that gave me a overall rank of 377,000, thereabout, right? Usually on the normal cases, like getting 100 points in a single game week would guarantee you like a slot in the top 5,000k for the game week. But this week was just so crazy. Almost every popular midfield selection gave attacking returns, and a lot of persons benefited from having Bruno and Salah in their team, captain in one of them. So today, this week was just crazy. FPL newbies, this is not the usual thing that's gonna happen. So next week, if you don't get 100 points or high 80s and above, it's normal. There's gonna be times when you get low 40s, high 50s, and so on and so forth. Okay, so for Game Week 2, I decided to go with a 3-4-3 formation. Now, in defense, I have both Sofal and Daniel Amarty. Leicester and West Ham are playing against each other, so I've decided to bench Amarty and start Sofal. Reason being, West Ham is playing at home, and I think West Ham might have the better nod to keep the clean sheet, despite conceding 2 goals to Newcastle last week. I'd give them the nod, and as well as I'd more expect to get an attacking return from Sofal than Amarty. In midfield, I have Bruno, Salah, Jota, and Mbeumo. Mbeumo looked great against Arsenal, especially that chance he created that he just dragged wide in the box. He just looked like a straight-up menace against Arsenal, and I'm confident that he'll probably give me an attacking return against Crystal Palace based on how well he played versus Arsenal. The captain selection for me this week, it was either between Bruno or Salah, and really and truly it's just a gut feeling that I'm going with Salah. It's Burnley, Salah, Southampton, Bruno. It's really a flip of the coin. Although Burnley is known to sit back and defend, Brighton last week did get off 14 shots versus them. So if Brighton was able to do that, imagine Liverpool. So I'm going with Salah as my captain. And up front, nothing's changed. Tony, Ings, and Antonio. Straight up. So as you might notice, I did not use any transfers. What I'm planning to do is I'm planning to roll my transfers. So in Game Week 3, I can make 2 transfers. Reason being is that in Game Week 3, Liverpool play Chelsea. So I'll be moving away from Jota. Not only because the game is going to be a tough game, but Jota isn't necessarily sure to start, given the whole rotation with him and Firmino. Also, in Game Week 3, you have a lot of favourable matchups, like West Ham playing Palace, Leicester playing Norwich, and Spurs playing Watford. Alright, so some players to watch right now. I have Greenwood, Pogba, Benrahma, and Sarr. So with Greenwood, Cavani is still lacking match fitness, so Greenwood is sure to start over him, and I believe Oli prefers Greenwood over Martial. Now you have someone that's listed as a midfielder in the game playing striker. Also, Rashford is still out until mid-October, so Greenwood is expected to still continue to start even when Cavani comes back. With Pogba, he was a straight-up maestro against Leeds. What we're seeing is that he's taking on a more creative role, given that Bruno is going forward more with the likes of Cavani and Rashford out. So expect Pogba to continue being this creative and dynamic in the midfield, while Bruno plays a more advanced role. With Benrahma, he's a straight-up talent. Remember a couple seasons ago, while he was still at Brentford, he was wanted by Chelsea. And now, with Jesse Lingard not at West Ham anymore, he's given a more green light to be more creative and dynamic and get more playing time. So West Ham plays Leicester this week, then they play Crystal Palace and Southampton, which are 2 great games. Bear in mind, Benrahma is only 6.1 million, which is an absolute steal, so keep him on your watch list. Sarr can be an excellent differential. He played great versus Villa and he's only cost 6 million. only being owned by 4.9% of managers, I think he's being overlooked. He's not that expensive, and this week they play Brighton, next week they play Tottenham, but after that it's Wolves, Newcastle and Norwich. Some great games to look at. So one of my subscribers did ask me about wildcarding this week. Now, I know some of you might feel bad getting 80s and 70s while so many people got 100, but it's still early. If your team got in the 70s or 80s, that's not a bad team. This week was just so crazy because of Bruno and Salah, which most people had them doubled up with captaining one of them. So what I'd advise is stick with your team. Unless your team is really bad and you've selected a lot of players that you thought were going to start but they're not starters, then I'd say wildcard. But if your team is okay, you have starters, you have persons that are known to get points, stick with it, use your transfers. If anything, take a 4-point hit one game week and maybe wildcard game week 6 or 7, because if you wildcard now, you have a long way till game week 19 to get that second wildcard. So I wouldn't panic, it's still early. Alright, that's it for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and good luck for game week 2. Be blessed.